Hello, Graham here. It's been a while since I've done a video, so I thought I would share with you my latest project, which is converting a chest freezer to a refrigerator for our off-grid cabin. Also, if you've never worked with 110 volts or AC circuitry of any kind, I do not recommend you proceed with this project. Thank you. Here's the chest freezer I picked up. It's a Danby 3.8 cubic feet. Thought about going with the 5.5 cubic foot, but it seemed a little big for what we needed at the cabin. Currently I have a propane refrigerator up at the cabin, but it just goes through way too much propane, so I'm trying to rely heavily on solar power for running most everything in the cabin. I've also picked up a digital temperature controller, and I found this model on eBay. I'll turn it around so you can see a little better. It's an RC-110M, and make sure to get the 110 volt version. This same model number also comes in 220 volts, and since we're in the States, pretty much everything is 110 as far as these freezer units go. I have removed the control panel on the front, and I'll be replacing this with the digital temperature controller. So I'll either cut a hole above it or cut a hole in this. I haven't quite decided yet, but I pulled out the temperature probe and disconnected all the wires in the back. I've pulled the old control panel, which used to go in right there, and I've marked it, so I'm going to be cutting a hole in it to fit in the digital temperature controller. I decided to cut a hole in the control panel for the chest freezer. Here are some of the tools I used: pliers, utility knife, cutters, and a hacksaw blade. There's the digital temperature controller mounted in the original control panel, and you can see by the side they've got these orange clamps that basically clamp the unit into place so it won't move. Okay, here what I've done is wire everything up. I've stripped the wires coming from the compressor and from the AC power cord. So if you can see, the black, I've got number 1 and number 3 are all spliced together, and that's basically coming from the power cord. Number 2 here goes to the red, which goes to the compressor. That's the hot line for the compressor. Number 4 here, the 2 whites, that is the neutrals coming from the power cord and from the compressor. And then the last ones, 5 and 6, are the actual temperature sensor, which you can see down here. And in a minute I'll be hooking that into the unit. And there is the digital temperature controller installed in the front, and if you look around into the back, you can see all the connections there. If you see up above, that's where the original thermostat went. I went ahead and pulled that out. I was going to put this thermostat in that hole, but the thermostat with this control unit was a little too big for it. So what I'm now going to have to do is run it along the back and probably put a piece of tape on it and just hang it in there. That's about the best I can do for now. Well, everything's all hooked up and running, and it's been running for, I don't know, about 45 minutes. The temperatures, I've got it set for 0 degrees C. This is only in C, not in Fahrenheit. The temperature right there is 1.2 degrees C, the current temperature. And there are some adjustments with this unit, like the delay before it kicks on the compressor and the temperature swing, which, you know, when it comes on, you might want to set that down lower to a few degrees rather than, I think it factory sets it about 5. Okay, here I've got the fridge, which was a chest freezer, hooked into an amp watt meter. I highly recommend getting one of these. Comes in quite handy. You notice it's running about 112 watts, or about 0.9 amps while it's running, which isn't a whole lot of power. Just remember, on startup you're going to be drawing probably around 600 to 700 watts, so make sure that your inverter can handle that. Also, I would suggest using a pure sine wave inverter, because I've heard stories about the digital thermometer controller not working so well with modified sine wave converters. Okay, and here's the thermostat I've run down the back. You can notice it's around 38, 39. You might have to play around with the temperature setting on the controller to get it where you want to be. Oh, there's about 33. There's about, well, it's going to fluctuate depending on what you have it set for. So, well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and feel free to email me if you have any questions. All right, until next time.